Hi, Mr. Owlman8 here. You know, I love the Power Rangers.
And I've been a fan for that show for quite some time.
Now, as a kid, one of the reasons why I watched the shows, and what I was into at the time,
were the monsters.
You know, those rubber suit things that the Rangers fight almost every week. So to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers, I have made a top 100 Power Rangers monster list. Okay, here are the rules for this list. The villains don't count. The henchmen don't count. The evil rangers don't count. And that goes the same for evil Zords, friendly monsters, and foot soldiers. I have done some extensive research by looking up on the wiki, watching some Power Rangers episodes, and so forth. There have been over approximately 750 plus monsters, and only 100 of them have made it on this list. So, how exactly do I manage this list? Well, I've determined the best monsters by examining two factors. Number one, how challenging they are, and number two, how unique they are. And also there's some elements of favoritism here and there. Okay, now for some honourable mentions. The first honourable mention goes to Pudgy Pig from Mighty Morphin Season 1. The next honourable mention goes to Terratoad, also from Mighty Morphin Season 1. These monsters were very challenging against the Rangers, and if the two had worked together, chances are the Rangers would have lost. The next honourable mention goes to Blob Goblin from SPD. This monster is very unique by design, as opposed to your standard Power Rangers monster. And the last honourable mention goes to Titanosaur from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. He was originally meant to be on this list, but due to a technicality, he could not. Bear in mind, he is more than just a monster of the week. He's also a pet, / weapon, / villain's lair. Just look at the castle on his back. So, with everything covered up, let's move on to the list. Number 100. Yuffo from Power Rangers Megaforce. Based on a UFO, Yuffo can turn into a pack of UFOs, and he uses this technique to capture specimens for his experiments. Not only that, he can also use this technique in his giant form, which allows the Rangers to use their individual Zords. Number 95. Memeraze from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. This monster was able to erase 4 of the Lightspeed Rescue Rangers' memories. So it was up to the Pink Ranger to keep this monster at bay, while the rest of the Rangers could restore their memories. Not much I can say about Memeraze, apart from the fact he's just your standard monster who just got lucky. Number 90. Duplicator from Power Rangers Super Samurai. Well, it's obvious what his power is. Making copies of himself. And this sure gave the Rangers a run for their money. But luckily, thanks to the help of the Lantern Zord, and a bit of help from the Pink Ranger, Duplicator's duplicates have been duped. Number 85. Leaky Faucet from Power Rangers Zeo. This monster had made 2 appearances. The first involved being with other monsters to make one big monster, and his second one involved him being a water-polluting robot. Leaky's design is very cartoony, and it really matches the motif of the monster. Number 80. Slickagon from Power Rangers Jungle Fury. With the power of a slug, Slickagon not only slips into this list, but slips his way out of the Power Rangers' attacks. So, what stopped him? By rubbing off all the slime with a big rag. And that left him high and dry. Number 75. Hisser from Power Rangers Megaforce. This snake-based mutant was able to take on the Rangers with its toxin spray. And the Rangers were almost done for. That is, until Robo Knight showed up. And when Hisser grew giant-sized, he also turned into some sort of snake doom buggy. Oddly enough, Robo Knight turns into a Zord, called the Lion Mechazord. This of course indeed made the battle very interesting. Number 70. Gotan from Mighty Morphin Season 1. Based on the mythical chimera, Gotan was able to threaten the Earth by controlling the weather, as well as summoning an energy cyclone from the goat's part of the mouth. And it could freeze the Megazord in a layer of ice. This monster was one chilly chimera. Number 65. Skelecron from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. This monster used a mirror shield in order to capture the Rangers, and it uses them to summon skeleton warriors. One yellow, one pink, one blue, one green. Luckily, the Red Ranger wasn't captured, but was beaten badly. Soon the Magna Defender arrived and released the Rangers so they can beat Skelecron. And when it grew giant-sized, it was able to capture the Galaxy Zord with his sword. But once again, the Magna Defender saves the day and destroys Skelecron. Number 60. Centipede from Mighty Morphin Season 3. Accidentally combined with Finster's centipede sculpture and a football, Centipede was made, and he was able to turn most of the Rangers and some civilians into footballs. And he almost made a touchdown, but missed the goal by the Red Ranger and Ninja with their two special buckets. Number 55. Freaky T from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. This monster made 2 appearances, and its accomplishments were ambushing the Magna Defender, and in its revival, it ambushed the Red Galaxy Ranger. Number 50. Turban Shell from Mighty Morphin Season 2. This monster is on the list because 1. He was able to knock the Rangers off their Zords, 2. He was able to absorb the last of the Green Ranger's powers, and 3. He had a kick-ass shell for its defense. Its only flaw is that it maneuvered slowly, and it could be harmed from the inside of its body. Number 45. Rhinosaurus from Power Rangers Samurai. Based on the Baku, a dream-eating monster from Japanese mythology, this rhino elephant thing was able to put people to sleep so he could eat their dreams. But by destroying his mist blower, his threat level was cut in half. Number 40. Robo-Goat from Mighty Morphin Season 2. Part robot, part goat, all monster. There's not much I could say about him, though he did obtain a magical sword. And of course, he was able to bash the Rangers in. Number 35. Nightmare from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. When the Rangers are trapped in a nightmare world by Hexubar, Hexubar sends the monster to combat with the Rangers. Apparently, Nightmare is very powerful in the nightmare world, and when the nightmare world vanished, it made one last-ditch effort to battle the Rangers. Number 30. Miracon from Power Rangers Time Force. This mutant was able to walk inside mirrors and create mirror worlds, as well as bringing people into those worlds. So while the Power Rangers were trapped by Miracon, they also had to face several mutants, earning Miracon this spot on the list. Number 25. Lion Tamer Org from Power Rangers Wild Force. This rotten ringmaster may seem like a monster down on his luck, but later he becomes a force to be reckoned with. Not only could he tame the Rangers, but he could also tame the Zords, earning him the number 25 spot. Number 22. Lady Gaga. That's not Lady Gaga. It's actually a monster named Delicia Enevel, and her evil plan was to create jackets that made people angry. Okay, now we're getting to the real good ones. So from 20 to 1, we are going to look at each monster in detail. Number 20. Mad Mike from Power Rangers Turbo. Probably one of the most outlandish monsters to ever be on Power Rangers. And how does he take them on? By baking them into a giant pizza. This monster truly lives up to its name. Number 19. Splitface from Power Rangers Samurai. This killer dodgeball-esque Nightlock is very dangerous. Why? Because it could snatch people's spirits. Not only that, he could also turn himself into many red balls, making it difficult for the Rangers to attack him. Number 18. Hatchosaurus from Mighty Morphin Seasons 1 and 2. This monster had made 2 appearances, and he was beaten by the Rangers both times. Though it was not an easy feat, for you see, the Hatchosaurus had this ability to rebuild itself, thanks to a thing called the Cardiotron. Luckily, the Red Ranger was able to defeat it, and that made sure that the Hatchosaurus was gone for good. Number 17. Shadow Serpent from Power Rangers Megaforce. Based on the Loch Ness Monster, and also looks a bit like a snail, this monster takes shadows, and when a person's shadow is taken, they wind up frozen as a result. This monster was one tough cookie, and he would have won against the Rangers if it weren't for Robo Knight. That and a few Zord combinations that also helped the Rangers save the day. Number 16. Distractor from Power Rangers Megaforce. What can I say about this monster? Well, for one, he was a real showman, or showmon, and an illusionist. So when he's granted the power of the Wild Sword, his illusions became real. He summons the monsters, and each one takes down the Rangers with ease. It took the Rangers a lot of effort and the Wild Sword to stop the Stractor and the other monsters. Number 15. Nimrod, the Scarlet Sentinel, from Mighty Morphin Season 2. This buffed up generic monster sure did a number on the Rangers. So much so that they needed help from the White Ranger. This monster not only had great firepower, but can also split into 3 monsters, AC and DC. Together, they were formidable opponents, and that is why they are on the list. Number 14. Armadevil, from Power Rangers Super Samurai. He's on the list because he is one of the toughest monsters on the show. His greatest strength is his armor. Now, there have been other monsters like him before, so why is he on this spot and not the others? Because unlike the others, it required a team of Rangers to penetrate his armor, and that is why he's within the top 20 spot. Number 13. Grinotor, from Power Rangers Super Samurai. Based on the yokai called Agaki, this monster had the ability to make people hungry. Now, even though there's a similar monster on this list, that monster only made one person eat junk food. But Grinotor can make people starve. He's basically famine incarnate, and that is why Grinotor is higher up on the list. Number 12. Shriek from Power Rangers Turbo. Apart from shrieking itself to cause a ruckus with the Blue Centurion, he also shrunk the Rangers and brought them to the villains. Only by sheer effort, the Rangers had escaped and grew back by using a growth torpedo. You know, if Shriek had shrunk itself and was swatted by just anyone, he wouldn't be on this list at all. Moving on. Number 11. Mutitus, from Mighty Morphin Season 1. While looking humanoid at first, he gets a power boost from Lokar. Then Mutitus was able to take on the Rangers' Zords, and sent the Rangers to the Island of Illusion. After the Rangers found a way out, they battled the monster again, and they begin to assemble the Mega Dragon Zord. Fun fact, in Zyuranger, Mutitus was actually the Frankenstein monster. Number 10. Dynamere, from Power Rangers Jungle Fury. The supposed oxen motif Phantom Beast can turn people into metal plates. And he would have won against the Rangers, if it weren't for one of the Rangers being a twin. You see, instead of capturing all 5 Rangers, Dynamere captured 4 Rangers and a civilian. So the remaining Ranger goes all Greek wedding on the plates and saves the day. So yeah, Dynamere could have won, but didn't. Number 9. Scatterbrain, from Mighty Morphin Season 2. This monster had the ability to make people forget who they were. And he successfully made all 6 Power Rangers forget that they were Rangers. And if it weren't for the efforts of Bulk and Skull, this monster would have won. Scatterbrain. Hopefully, he will not be forgotten. Number 8. Goldgoyle, from Power Rangers Turbo. When he faces the Zords, he was able to intercept and survive the finishing moves, as well as the Megazord's self-destruct sequence. It took all the weapons and the Zords to take down this monster, and by golly, that's a darn good reason why he's on this list. Fun fact, in Car Ranger, he's actually the main villain. Number 7. Tankenstein, from Power Rangers In Space! In Space. This is something the Rangers don't face often. A monster in the form of a Humvee. It was resistant to the Rangers' weapons and could teleport the Rangers by running them over. And in its giant form, when it was destroyed, it also destroyed the Mega Voyager. Number 6. Cytocon, from Power Rangers Time Force. This Steven Spielberg mutant had a plan, making the Rangers a part of his movie. They were in many dimensions based on the sets of movies, which kept the Rangers at bay. Then, when it came to the Zord battle, Cytocon told the Rangers they can't win, because apparently anything written on the scripts will happen. Luckily, the last page got ripped off by one of the Rangers. But nevertheless, Cytocon still earned his spot on the top 10. Number 5. Rotox, from Power Rangers Megaforce. This robot was interesting as it was powerful. And when Rotox was eventually destroyed, it was rebuilt and upgraded. It could also survive the finishing move from the Megaforce Blaster. Stopping Rotox required a lot of effort from all 6 Rangers to Gosei Ultimate Megazord. Number 4. Clockster, from Power Rangers Turbo. This fancy thing can manipulate time, so when he touches an item called the freeze key, Earth's time becomes frozen. Luckily, the Phantom Ranger sorts things out, and Clox's clock gets cleaned. Number 3. Professor Cog, from Clash of the Red Rangers. This diabolical machine didn't want to take over one world, but 2 worlds. He plans to use the Senzu River's water to flood his world, in exchange for helping Xandred. So he manages to turn the Red Rangers against each other and sends the Samurai Rangers to his world. Professor Cog's design is very interesting, with all those gears and cogs, plus his oversized toolkit and Gatling gun on his chest. And that is why he is number 3 on the list. Number 2. Trickster, from Power Rangers Super Samurai, Halloween Special. Right from the get-go, Trickster sends the Rangers to a series of dream realms. Of course, the Rangers don't realize this until later on. After a few scenarios later, the Rangers begin to fight Trickster. He then grows, becoming more of a challenge. And even if the Rangers won the fight, the real Trickster would be in the cinema, eating popcorn. Though the Rangers were able to figure it out. This monster earned its spot on the list due to how well it could battle with the Rangers, as well as being a very obscure monster. Number 1. And the number 1 spot for the top 100 Power Rangers monster list goes to the Impersonator from Power Rangers Zeo. Accidentally created by Rita, it was able to absorb any of the attacks that the Zords made. It was even impervious against the Zeo Ultra Zord. Dang. I mean, dang. And to make things even more interesting, the Impersonator hijacked the Super Zeo Megazord. Not only that, she even gets into a fight with another Zord that is also taken by another monster named Cogcharger. But eventually, the 2 monsters were out of their Zords, then they fused together for one last battle. Now, the reason why the combined form wasn't on the number 1 spot was because the combined form wasn't as absorbent as the Impersonator was, making the Impersonator number 1. So that was the top 100 Power Rangers monster list. So from Mr. Owlman 8, farewell, and may the power protect you.